Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Fallout 76 build video. Today we're going to be looking at the 50 caliber machine gun. Now it is an absolute beast for a heavy gunner build. I really enjoy just running around in power armor, just using the heavy guns and, you know, just a different kind of playstyle, the usual weapons that you see around in the game. And this is really viable. I've ran through the raid with this weapon and done, you know, some really good damage. You know, it can hold its own in a fight as well, any type of endgame boss fight. And the great thing is this weapon's really easy to get hold of. You can get it nice and early as well. So, you know, if you're a beginner of the game, you can even use this build pretty much straight away because you can just, all you need is some caps. You can go and buy the 50 caliber machine gun. Again, it only uses 50 caliber. You can get the prime version as well, which does give it a little bit more damage, but it still does really well. I was using it without the prime receiver for a long time, and it was still doing some really good damage there. But the video that you're seeing right now, I am using the prime 50 caliber weapon right now, and it is absolutely insane. It is doing some really good damage against the Guardian, against the Snake, and stuff like that. Especially once it starts stacking with some limb damage there, it's really good. So in order to get hold of the weapon before we begin with the build, you just want to head over to Watoga Shopping Plaza, and you want to head to the vendor bot Phoenix right here. And as you can see on the notes, if you head to the notes section, obviously I know it, so I'm gonna have to scroll all the way down. But it is right there, plan 50 caliber machine gun, and it is 3,938 caps. Now you can go and put on the charisma perk real quick, which is called hard bargain. That'll give you a better bartering cost for the caps, basically. So the plan will be much cheaper if you do that. So let's jump into the build and let's start with the weapon itself. So the awesome thing about this is, like I said, it doesn't require a lot to get it really good. So for the mod, for the 1-star, I went for Furious yet again. I've done that in my last couple of builds. I think Furious is just really good to get all the stacks going. It really is. I played around with 2-shot a little bit with this. You could use 2-shot. Furious and 2-shot kind of give the same outcome, more or less. Honestly, you just get less onslaught stacks, so yeah, it's hard to work out really. But I think 2-shot for maybe earlier game stuff, it might be a little bit better. But overall, when you're doing the bosses, I think Furious just really just edges it just a little bit. We have Rapid for 25% weapon speed, so it actually has a faster DPS there as well. Another thing that I will mention, that if you do decide to use the prime receiver on this weapon, it does actually decrease the fire rate quite a lot. But you know, that's just a preference thing, I guess. If you want faster fire rate, but you know, you'll have lower damage numbers, then I guess you could just go for the normal receiver. But for me, this is working out really nicely, and it's hitting really hard. And you know, I just, like I said, I love using power armor. I love using just, you know, heavy guns with the power armor as well. Just making the whole tank fiasco thing going on there. It's really great. And for the 3-star mod, I went for Swift. I didn't want to put anything else on there just because I don't want to rely on Wild West hands all the time. It doesn't necessarily help. But this gun doesn't reload really slow, which is nice. It already has a pretty fast reload attached to it. Of course, I do have Speed Demon, which does give me some faster reload speed as well. But Swift is just there. There's not really a good 3-star mod to throw on here, honestly. I just put Swift on there, but it's entirely up to you. And we have the prime receiver. We also have the heavy barrel. The heavy barrel is just basically extra free damage. The heavy barrel is not hard to come by. If you do get a 50 caliber drop from a basic enemy or anything like that, it's really easy to learn the heavy barrel, and that's how you learn that mod there, the attachment to go on to the 50 caliber. So that is the weapon itself. Said I have played around with it a little bit, but I've been happy with the way Furious and Rapid have been working really well on this weapon. And it does have a good capacity. It has 250 capacity, so we can expend the bullets really nicely to get our bulletstorm. Okay, so here is the build that we're going to be using for the 50 caliber machine gun. So we have 12 in strength, we have 11 perception, 4 in endurance, 3 in charisma, 6 in intelligence, 10 in agility, and 10 in luck. So I do have some legendary perk cards on that as well. This is basically just all special. All I have on, I have 2 in perception, 2 in endurance, 3 in intelligence, 3 in agility, 2 on luck, and 1 in strength right now. I'm still working on getting them all leveled up nice, but it's not really necessary. I will, of course, give you a build without using the legendary perks after this one. So starting with strength, we have bring in the big guns, easy target, bulletstorm, lock and load, and scattershot. The main one here is bulletstorm and having bring in the big guns. Those are the two that you really want to look to get. Lock and load is good just because if we reload, then we keep our half of our bulletstorm stack, so that is really nice. But yeah, it's a really good combination to have those three. It's not necessary sometimes with Wild West Hands, but it is just a nice backup if Wild West Hands does not proc, because if Wild West Hands procs, then we don't have to worry about losing our bulletstorm stacks, which is really good. Scattershot is great because we're going to go for a lot of limb damage here, so 20% of the damage dealt to a limb is applied to all limbs on your target as well, which is great. And we have easy target to get 75% range damage to crippled targets there. So once the crippling happens on any enemy, it really does enhance the damage a lot more for the 50 caliber. It's great. Perception, we went for number cruncher because we're trying to get a little bit of a higher AP cost. I actively went to do that. I am actually working on a VATS build to lower the AP cost down below like 10, and we're going to be able to spam some VATS. I'm going to work on that in the future, and I can't wait to get that out to everybody. It's going to be a really awesome build for that. But this one is just going to be strictly no VATS, which is great because the gun itself is really accurate. We don't need to use VATS, so we can just fire a lot of bullets down, and it doesn't deplete its durability as well, which is a good thing as well, because so many weapons, especially with Rapidon, can deplete their durability a lot. This weapon lasts a long time as well. And I do have Gunsmith on, but it is just going to... It does just help out just a little bit, 20% slower does help out just a little bit. But yeah, it's nice playing with no VATS for a change and just kind of running around, just mowing everything down. Continuing with the build though, we have Tormentor just to get an extra limb damage. We have Tank Killer to ignore 40% of armor. We have Center Masochist in case we hit the torso. Since we are going to be using VATS, we're not going to be as very accurate to hit the weak spots as we'd like to be. But basically, yeah, you're just going to get some extra damage if we do decide to hit the torso there. Deal Sealer is going to work well with crippling targets as well. And we have Concentrated Fire to gain a little bit more accuracy, the per shot that we have. Since we have Rapid, we're firing a lot of shots there, we're going to get a lot more accuracy. And it's not really necessary to take Concentrated Fire any further than just having it as a 1 point there. Endurance, we have 6 points in that. We have Ironclad just to go with the match and set that we have. And Fireproof as well to take less damage from explosions and flame attacks. Charisma, we have Tenderizer and Strange in Numbers. Just if our teammates are mutated too, we get positive mutation effects, being 25% stronger, which I am mutated. And Tenderizer is great. Your target takes increased damage with each attack. So again, because we're using Rapid, we're applying a lot of DPS, Tenderizer is going to work out nicely there. Intelligence, we went for First Aid. Power User, Stabilized, Field Surgeon, and Gunsmith. Stabilized is very important here. Big guns gain 30% accuracy, double in power armor. So because we're in power armor, this thing is just beaming enemies, without having to rely on that, which is really nice. Agility, we have Gunslinger Expert, Guerrilla Expert, Guerrilla Master, and Gunslinger, just so we can get the onslaught stack. So the maximum we can get is 20. You can go up to 30, but that is actually reverse onslaught, and you don't really want to be dealing with that. And in luck, we have Ricochet, which is a really handy perk to have. If any enemy is attacking you, you can ricochet the damage back to them. We have Class Freak, just to reduce our negative effects of our mutations by 75%. We have Faulty Spots, Wild West Hands, again, another key one, especially for any big gun build. If you are a Ghoul, try and get Wild West Hands on there because it stacks really nicely with Bulletstorm. One Gun Army as well, because this gives us 12% stagger chance and plus 75% limb damage, so we're going to get even more limb damage there. I wish we could get a little bit more heavy gunner perks going on the perk cards, but looking around, this is like the best we can come up with at the moment for having heavy guns. There's definitely something you can play around with if you are using like energy heavy guns or something like that, but this is the best we can do, not using non-energy heavy guns. So yeah, this is a really solid build, and I've been really enjoying using it, especially with the 50 caliber. And now I will go over the armor real quick. So the armor itself is not really important because there's no benefits to doing anything with the armor other than what you want to do, really. What you want to aim for. If you like doing kill streak stuff, you might want to put Adrenal on for the 1 star. That definitely wouldn't be a bad choice. Right now, I'm just using my high intelligence power armor. On my 2 star there, I have intelligence on every single piece of my power armor on my T65. And I have through hikers as well, just for food, drink, and chem weights being reduced by 20% is very helpful for carry weight, especially being a Ghoul and you're carrying a lot of chems around a lot of the time like I am. through hikers is pretty much necessary there. So yeah, intelligence is, you know, good enough. That's it for me, really. I do have medic pump on the torso as well, so it automatically heals me as well. But yeah, the mods aren't really important. It's just try and get a matching set of armor pieces. Hell, you could not even use power armor, but I would recommend using power armor just because you get stabilized and it gives you just so much more accuracy for using the 50 caliber there. Okay, so just going over my mutations real quick. I have Adrenal Reaction, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. Speed Demon's probably the only necessary one here just to get the faster reload speed in case Wild West Hands doesn't proxy. Marsupial's always good just to have better carry weight and jump height. The rest aren't really that necessary because we're not doing VATs. But I mean, yeah, Adrenal Reaction's good for being on a kill streak as well, but that's mainly if you're just doing some farming content, which is, you know, they can work well, especially if you put Adrenal on your power armor or your normal armor as well. It can stack really nicely with that, and you can put Adrenaline perk card on there, but we're not really worried about that too much. Now here is the build without any legendary perk cards on. So we went 14 in strength, we have 8 in perception, 3 in endurance, 3 charisma, 6 intelligence, 13 agility, and 9 luck. And for the perk cards, we went for bringing the big guns, easy target, bulletstorm, scattershot, lock and load, and barbarian. We have barbarian there just to gain a little bit more damage resistance. So yeah, it worked out pretty nicely on strength. You can keep that. Perception, we have number cruncher, tank killer, and just center masochist. These ones are good enough just to get enough damage going. Just for you know, spraying the 50 caliber there. For endurance, we just went for ironclad and didn't have fireproof attached to it. We also have tenderizer, stranger numbers. We have power user, stabilized, and gunsmith. I stuck with these cards. Mainly these two, and I just attached some gunsmith on the end there. You can take gunsmith off, you can mess around with it, you can put curator on or something along those lines, whatever you want to play around with there. But yeah, these are the two that I would mainly leave on if you are using power armor as with a heavy gun. For agility, we went for gorilla master, gunslinger, gorilla expert, and gunslinger expert. This is enough just to keep our onslaught stacks as well. Very nice there. And then we have, in luck, we have Class Freak, Wild West Hands, and One Gun Army. Those are the key ones that we want to keep in. So before we end the video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support on the recent videos. They've done some really good numbers that I'm very surprised on with this being a brand new channel. And we just reached 100 subscribers as well, which is an awesome milestone. Just to see how quick we've gained a lot of subscribers there. So very nice, and hopefully these things continue, and I will be back doing more Fallout guides and builds on this channel, so don't go anywhere for that. I do stream on my main channel if you're interested. Obviously, it is linked under the video there. So as you can see, it'll say Pixels, Fallout, and Pixels. Pixels is my main channel if you want to come and check me out over there. I play horror games. I do stream Fallout on there sometimes as well. So if you want to hang out there, that would be awesome. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments about the build, feel free to leave them down below. I'm in Pixels, my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.